Welcome back to Eyewitness News. 6:48 the time. An iconic Disney movie now has a live-action remake. Snow White, the movie that really kicked off Disney altogether. Sean Chandler from Sean Chandler Talks About joins us to talk about the film. Sean, now, first up, I want to get your take on the Disney live-action remakes. Are you a fan of these or are you not a fan of these?
Well, certain Disney classic films lend themselves really well to being translated from an animated film into live action. And when they do that, you can get a pretty cool adventure film. But they made too much money, in which case Disney just went, that's the safest and the easiest way to make money. And they started going deeper and deeper into their archive, and they're adapting movies that make absolutely no sense. Like The Lion King, you can't adapt into live action. And so they did fake live action with talking animals. It just doesn't translate right because talking animals don't emote. So some of them work, some of them don't. But I just, as a creative strategy, is just bankrupt.
Yeah, they're just remaking things. So I know you took your family to go see Snow White. I saw it as a kid myself. What did your kids think of Snow White?
So I've got two girls and a middle school son. Two girls had a good time with it. One is 6, one is 11. Both of them enjoyed it, had a smile on their face. The middle school boy, he literally said, I laughed 2 times. What did you think about it, though? I'm only here because you made me come. That's the whole thing my middle school son said.
Okay, now what does the adult Sean Chandler have to say about this film? Does Zegler, does she hold up the bar to be Snow White?
So she's very talented. She's a great singer. She can act. But this would be an example of a Disney animated film that I don't think makes any sense being adapted into a 21st century blockbuster. The original Snow White is an absolute classic, but it's designed to be this kind of cute little episodic story about a little romance, a little bit of cute animals and dwarves and their antics. It's not set up to be a $250 million blockbuster that's meant to be this 4-quadrant film that can make $1 billion. So they have to like infuse it with all these other plot lines to it, where it has some Aladdin in it, has Robin Hood in it. It also has some Lion King in it, where it's about her reclaiming the throne from the evil queen, who's, she's the rightful heir and she's going to defeat tyranny from the evil queen. And so it just loses all the Snow White-isms in all of this stuff.
You mentioned the word 4-quadrant. That's the idea. It's got to get to everybody has to enjoy this film. Mm-hmm. Your wife, I know, went with you to see the movie as well with the whole family. She's a musical fan. Are the new songs in here good? Did she like the songs?
They're like so many of these recent new edition songs in the live action remakes in some Disney films. They're fine but forgettable. You're not like, oh, that was awful. Actually, in Little Mermaid, they added one that was pretty awful. There's nothing like that's awful, but you watch it and you go, okay, that was fine. And it feels out of place because hi ho, we're off to work we go had a very distinct vibe to it that was from that time. And these new songs just sound like new Disney pop songs. So they weren't all that great. My wife didn't have anything particularly positive to say about the film when we left. She didn't hate it, but it was just right. Fine. It was just there. Well, and like this is a movie that's distinctly 1-quadrant little girls.
Yeah, right. The word hate. Here we go. Online, I'm seeing that the evil queen is not as scary compared to the dwarves. Are they that scary looking?
They look horrible. Like my daughter, my fifth grade daughter, who enjoyed the film, she goes, the dwarfs looked terrifying. And it's the classic Uncanny Valley, that their skin, it looks rubbery or like wax. Their eyes look dead. And they're in scenes next to humans. And so you see human flesh and how light's reflecting off of it. And then you see these monstrosities that are kind of like cartoon characters, but kind of like lifelike, but not right at all, and it just looks freaky and weird, and it looks horrible, and it costs $250 million.
Apparently they needed another $250 million to get the old rubbery faces fixed. So not a good one then for Sean Chandler, I take it.
Not really. I mean, it's not a total abomination. Like, I didn't hate my time watching it. I wasn't offended by it. There were some comments the lead actress made that made it seem like they were really throwing the original under the bus. I think they did some reshoots to make it more like the original, but it's just not very good. It's very kind of dull at times.
All right.
And there's just no reason you would choose to watch this one over the original.
I'll stay at home and watch Reacher, or just go watch the original Snow White on Disney Plus. There you go. Sean Chandler from Sean Chandler Talks About. Really appreciate your time. In fact, word is that you may be joining us again next hour on our sister station, Fox 58. So we'll see you over there.
Sounds good.